Today I'm going to be doing a quick little tutorial on playing Tristana for a buddy of mine. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just in Team Builder. I'm going to pick Tristana over here so that I'm guaranteed to get her. It looks like it's going to take a while, so in the meantime I'm going to hit this find queue, let that queue up. Oh wow, that was really quick. Okay, never mind. Let me talk after loading a screen. Can't tell who that is. That's new art. Alright, so Tristana is a ranged champion. As you can see, I've selected the bottom lane as the marksman role, also known as the AD carry. So in a typical high-level game, like level 30, you'll see players, teams building in specific laning compositions. So you'll have one going in the top lane, one going in the mid lane, two going in the bottom lane, and one in the jungle. So I don't want to talk about the basics right this second. What I'd like to do first is introduce this site called lolbuilder.net. Basically, it's a website where you could search by champion and you can see what the pro players and the really high-ranked players are building in terms of items and skills and stuff. So it's a really useful website to refer to if you're new to a champion or you just want to see, you know, what other people are doing. Maybe you can get some perspective on it. So Tristana over here, we can see that the most popular build is the AD build. It looks like people are going with flash and heal and buying the warding totem first to have some wards inherently. And then they're building Berserker's Greaves, Blade of the Rune King, Infinity Edge, Static Shiv, Last Whisper, and the Bloodthirster. I'm going to go through these kind of fast, but you can look up the items later. Note that the Greaves doesn't usually happen like all the way. Usually what will happen is people will buy boots and then build part of the Blade of the Rune King, so they'll build the Bilgewater Cutlass, which is the item which builds into the Blade of the Rune King, and then maybe they go back and complete the Greaves. But it all really depends on how the lane's going, what your matchup is, and how much money you have when you go back for the first time. But generally speaking, you'll usually have, you'll start off with a Doran's Blade, a health potion, and the warding totem, and then when you go back the first time, you'll probably pick up boots and maybe a vampiric scepter. On your back after that, you'll upgrade the vampiric scepter up to a Bilgewater Cutlass, and if you have enough money, upgrade to Berserker's Greaves, and then hopefully by your third back, you'll have enough to upgrade to Blade of the Rune King, but that is a pretty big upgrade straight from Bilgewater Cutlass. So you might have to go back and buy a couple of the attack speed swords first, and then come back later for the whole upgrade. The other thing about this too is usually you'll see Last Whisper being built instead of Static Shiv, so ahead of Static Shiv I should say, because the armor penetration from the unique passive really comes in handy as a third major item rather than having to wait until the fourth major item. But that's also depends on how you do with the champion, how your lane's going. So let me just switch this over real quick to game capture so that I get better frames per second. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with my item build, and I'm going to head towards the bottom lane. In your normal games, as you're leveling up, you might not be able to have these typical lanes like you'll have when people are more experienced. You might not have a person going into the jungle, and so you'll end up maybe with two people in the middle lane, two people in the top lane. But at least with the nice thing about AD carry, if you're playing a carry role or the marksman role, you can usually guarantee yourself to have two in lane, whether you're a low level or a higher level. So that's kind of nice. So essentially what I'm doing right now, because we have a jungler, because there's a jungler on the enemy team, is I'm just going to sit in the bush over here in order to keep this position revealed, so that we reveal the fog of war in this area. This will allow us to detect whether there's the enemies coming in through here, which is a typical route for what's called a jungle invade, where they'll go in and try to steal some of the more valuable creep camps, such as this one with the lizard, or this one up here with the golem. Looks like we're not going to get anything. Usually people move a little bit quicker than around 1:30. They'll usually move sooner than that. So it looks like we're not going to get invaded. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run down to the bottom lane so that I can meet up with the creeps and make sure I don't lose any time. So as far as Tristana is concerned, she is a ranged marksman. Through her passive, as she gains levels, her range increases. So I like to think of her kind of like a dwarven sniper, or a shit, what is it called in Dota? Dwarven sniper's Han. The guy that you level his ability and then his range increases. But she does have an attack speed steroid with her Q, and she has more mobility than that Dota champion with her W, her rocket jump. So I'll talk about the skill order in just a second. I might get caught up or distracted by events happening in game or having to concentrate, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say it real quick and then I'll try to explain it after. I usually max E first, and then I max either Q or W depending on the situation. If we're starting to siege turrets and I need that additional attack speed, I'll max the Q second, and if I need the reduced cooldown from the W, then I'll do that instead. So the thing to note about, or the reason why I choose to level E first is because it's her ability that actually does damage to the enemy. So her W does damage, but it puts you in bad position if you just jump into them to actually make the W do damage. And the Q doesn't do any damage by itself. The Q requires you to be able to auto attack. So the E is something you could just go in, cast the E, and then run back, and then not really have any chance for the opponents to retaliate. And so the drawback to E is that whenever you kill, whenever you last hit something, as you can see, it explodes. If you played her before, you know what's up. She'll do damage to the units around her. And so what this ends up doing is this will cause your lane to cause your creeps to kill the enemy creeps faster, and so your lane will push to tower. Which means that, you know, since you're past this part of the river, if there's a jungle on the other team, it's easier for them to get in, especially if you don't have ward coverage. Ooh. I thought, so I flashed there because I thought that he flayed my rocket jump, and so I wasn't going anywhere, but it just kind of delayed it, but it still went off. So that was not necessary, but I did it early rather than waiting to see what happened because I didn't want to get knocked up by Blitzcrank if I did end up staying there. So the flash would have at least gotten me away so that I didn't get chain CC'd. So yeah, I maxed the E first in order to increase the damage that it does when I cast it on an enemy. And it is going to cause the lane to push more, which I actually enjoy because it means that the enemies are going to have to worry about competing with the turret to get last hits. And so usually people struggle to be able to do that effectively enough, and so they end up losing a lot more CS than they would have if they were in the middle of the lane, for example, without the turret hitting the creeps. And so what else about the skills is good to know. So the W, upon receiving a kill, will actually refresh itself. Upon getting a kill, the cooldown will reset, and that's nice because you can, if you know you're going to assassinate somebody, maybe you use the buster shot in combination with you jump in, then you buster shot. It means that you'll be able to go in, quickly snipe a kill, and then run back out, and then rocket jump back out, I should say. So basically, her early game plan is to just sit back. She doesn't have long range when she first starts the game. She doesn't get that until later. As you can see, my range is only increased by 27 because I'm only level 4. And so she's got short range relative to some of the other AD carries, especially Caitlyn and Ashe. I think I can actually get this kill. Ooh, just kidding. So yeah, I made a mistake there, thinking that I could have just easily gone in, killed the Thresh, and then popped back out, but what happened was Thresh is running heal himself, so he was able to heal and stop my burst. Also, the E does damage over time, so it's not really going to burst somebody down. That's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead with the recommended build because I want some extra survivability. And by that I mean that the Blade of the Rune King is gonna, even as Bilge Water Cutlass, it's gonna deal as slow. And so that'll allow me, if there's a champion that jumps on me, such as Lee Sin or Pantheon, if he jumps on me, actually that's my team. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, two Karthuses. I'm like, I saw Karthus on our team too. So if Pantheon Lee Sin jumps on me, I can use that to slow them so I can start creating some distance so that hopefully I can kite them away and not die. Because, you know, the worst thing for any squishy is to have the melee, you know, bruiser right on top of them attacking them. Other items to go are Bloodthirster, so you can get the Vampiric Scepter. Even at this point, if I end up going back with 1550 enough for a BF sword, I might just buy it because of the amount of damage that you get from it. It would outweigh buying the pieces for Blade of the Rune King at that point. But Bloodthirster is also a good first item. With 80 carries in general, it's a good item to go first. Infinity Edge is one that you don't see as often anymore as a first item. You used to see it a lot, and you still see it a lot on Caitlyn. But it is expensive. It takes a while to build, and in terms of timing with everything else, all the other 80 carries, it's difficult to justify trying to build towards it early when other people are getting items that do more. Infinity Edge doesn't give you too much. It gives you a lot of attack damage, but you don't really get your money's worth until it actually becomes Infinity Edge. So up until that point, you're getting outpaced by people that are buying Bloodthirsters, Blade of the Rune Kings, and getting them quicker. Second item, so after you get... Also, the other thing about Tristana is that she has her Q, and this actually goes up to 90% by the time it's maxed out. So she has a lot of attack speed just built into her kit, into her spells. And so you don't really need to get too much attack speed. This is why you don't usually see Tristana's getting something like Phantom Dancer. Even Static Shiv I don't see too commonly on Tristana. Let's see. So summoner spells, I like going heal. Heal is really good right now because in addition to the healing capacity that works on you and your teammate, you also... Where is that? Oh, that's Karthus. Oh, I'm sorry. Karthus just got like a visual rework, so his abilities look a lot different. Wow, that was surprising that they missed both of their hooks. So heal is really good right now because of the ability to heal you and your teammate, but the more good part about it, or the real advantage to it, is that it gives you a speed boost. So it's almost like a mini ghost. That time it actually didn't work the way it was supposed to. Couldn't jump out in time. So we traded 1 for 1, which isn't really that good because she's probably going to die here first of all, so it's going to be 1 for 2. And, you know, trading somebody that's supposed to get the farm and do a lot of damage, like the AD carry, for Thresh is usually considered a support. He's building damage this time. Ooh, she can get it. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. That ended up working out. And since I have the 1700, I am going to buy the BF sword first. I'll pick up a ward so that we have some good coverage. And then I'll head back to lane and try to get there before Pantheon pushes us to the turret. So usually trading 1 for 1 in most circumstances, you don't want to do it, but especially when you're such a high value, high priority member like the AD carry, you definitely don't want to trade 1 for 1. It's usually never as even as 1 for 1 sounds. So another thing to pick up from, and this is one thing that you'll develop over time, but When your creeps get pushed to turret, I mentioned earlier that I like to do that to the opponents because it makes it hard to last hit. Because the turret does, you know, a lot of damage. It makes it unclear how much damage you can do, you know, in order to last hit it. And when the tower just takes the kill instead. And so I enjoy that, doing that to the opponents, but if it does happen to me, you know, for the same reasons, I'm aware of what it takes to last hits correctly under the turret. So Tristana is a little bit weird because her explosive shot will do damage to everything, so it screws up with the HP levels of the other minions. But generally speaking, with most AD carries, what you'll do is you'll let the turret hit the melee minions twice, and then you hit them once. And then with the ranged minions, these casters, you'll let the turret hit it once, and then you go in for that second attack, because usually they'll be low enough. While that hit me. So usually they'll be low enough to actually do the finishing blow with your auto attack. And then if that doesn't end up being the case, then you just simply auto attack them once while the turret is whittling them down.
I wanna shoot something.
Another thing about skills is that I don't know if you noticed, but I do put a level into each ability before I start maxing out the E. It's just good to have, you want to have your buster shot, or your rocket jump level 2, just in case you need to escape if you get caught by your enemy laners, or if, you know, the jungle comes in, you just need an escape. It's really good to have this level 2. And then, you know, 30% isn't a lot, but early game it actually is a significant amount. So having that option to just give you the extra 30% attack speed could be the difference between losing a fight and winning it.
Shoot something.
There's some like other concepts that I could talk about, such as you know, trading in lane, that depending on what your exposure is in Dota, or your knowledge is in Dota. I could probably kill this Thresh. So yeah. He's gonna commit this. He's gonna jump me and stun me, so I have to just run away. Nope. Yeah, so I should have just started running, because I thought Blitz would start concentrating on Nami. He didn't end up doing that, so instead what happened was he kept going on me, was able to chase me down, burn exhaust and stuff. And so if I just started running towards Brush, I might have been able to mask him from Fog of War, juke him a little bit until my stuff could get up. But it still would have been close. I probably still would have ended up dying.
Ready, aim, fire!
The other thing too that I'm taking a note of is that I know Pantheon, he has that ability to just drop down anywhere. So dives like that under turret, even though I can get away with them if it's just Blitz, the fact that they have a Pantheon on their team means that something like that, that's exactly how it's going to turn out if I try to do it again. So I'm not going to take that chance. I'm not going to take the chance of letting Pantheon come in and clean up, unless I know for a fact that it's down and he's not around.
Shoot something.
So before I got into that that bad fight, I was going to talk about trading, or at least some of the more you know, slightly advanced concepts, I would say, of trading. Basically, and it's universal in any Dota style game, but essentially, as you're in this early game phase, you know, you're trying to trade auto attacks with each other and trade abilities, and the whole point of it is to not I might have to let this go. Wow. The dives. Chain CCs are real.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Oh. Should have dodged that.
You have been slain.
Alright, so before I get here, before I talk about that, let me back up to what I was saying. So trading between
Shut down.
you and your lane opponents Basically, the idea behind that being, you know, you want to whittle people down so that you get them to a point where you can kill them. So regarding that, what just happened, basically we had the mid lane roam down to bottom, and we had the jungle come in without having to use his ulti. This Nami is trying to blame the team, being like, you know, why didn't you help? Why didn't you come in? You know, Shen, why didn't you use your ultimate? Whatever. But, you know, that's something that could have been preventable from our side. And so this is another not so basic concept of vision control and having vision. So using those sight wards to your advantage. If we had a ward over here in the tri-bush and then one up here, we could have spotted the Karthus coming down from mid lane a lot sooner than we did. Basically, we spotted him when it was too late. And so if we instead were able to see him coming down when he was like around here, we would have had enough time to react and move back.
Wanna see the fireworks?
So one thing that I did was I picked up another ward even though I hadn't used my first one, so that after I finish this wave, I can put one there.
Let's get in range.
And then the other thing I'll do is I'll put one near the dragons so that I know if they're going to come down this way too.
Wanna see the fireworks?
And they're going to try to go from here. So, Nania. So I'm leveling the W first because what is going on? I'm leveling the W first. Wow, I missed. I'm leveling the W first because I want that reduced cooldown, because I'm finding that I'm getting caught a lot, especially by these hooks, so I'm going to need it up more frequently. And we're not at the point where we're really sieging turrets, and so I'm going to keep the Q at level 1 for now. So that was bad by me. I thought I could outplay them. My mentality going into that was I first saw Thresh, and I thought to myself, oh, I could take him on 1 versus 1. What I failed to adapt for was that
I wanna shoot something.
Blitzcrank appeared on the screen as well, and after that happened, I knew I should have mentally known that it was a 2 versus 1, and you know, pulled back some, because I knew my Nami was up here trying to help out mid.
Let's get in range. I wanna shoot something.
So what else? Yeah, so trading's more of an advanced concept. I'm not going to talk about that right now. I am going to... Well, mid is lost already, so I'm just going to push down
Has been destroyed.
bottom, because they're already gonna... We might as well try to take one, because Shen's not doing anything. He doesn't even have his ulti.
Ready? Aim. Fire.
And try to at least even this up. A turret for a turret.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been
See
slain.
the fireworks?
And so Tristana is actually really good at this. She pushes down turrets really quickly because she's able to use her her Q to auto attack quickly, and she shoves the lane really fast with her explosive shot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump into this bush so that I can back, and I'm gonna run over there because it looks like they're getting kills, and it looks like they succeeded. So I'm just gonna okay. So Pantheon just missed me. That's a relief. I think what happened was he ultied over here, and then he ran that way, and I ran that way at the exact same time. That's kind of funny.
An enemy has been slain.
Alright.
I wanna shoot something.
So we got Karthus over there. They might try to do Dragon right now.
Let's get in range.
Nope, he went towards blue, so I know I'm alright.
Wanna see the fireworks?
Alright, so we at least managed to go turret for turret there. so it wasn't a straight free turret for them.
Aim.
We have the dragon, so the dragon is good for, obviously you get gold and experience for killing it, but it's also good for forcing fights. Both teams want that objective, that monster of the dragon. And so, I don't know how capable we are of having a team fight right now. I mean, our Karthus has got 6 kills, so does theirs, so they're pretty even in terms of power.
Enemy double
They don't have a
kill.
turret there, so I'm just gonna keep going.
You have slain an enemy.
So yeah, I popped my flash there so that I could put the explosive shot down so he started taking damage. And then I popped my heal so that I could get that speed up. There's Lee Sin, so let's see if we can make a play on him. It would be 1 versus 2. And here it goes. So dodge the Q. Now I can rocket jump in because I know he doesn't have any threats on me. He'll try to Tempest me. That's when he gets taunted.
I wanna shoot something.
Does Shen want to do this? You should just taunt over him. So because we took that Lee Sin down, Lee Sin was their these are jungle camp dancers. Oh shit.
An ally has been slain.
Shoot something.
Nah, I should probably be here. Unless I can get, I don't know where Karthus went. I have to pull back. So he's gonna take it.
Wanna see the fireworks?
Oh my god. That was really close.
Rampage.
Ready. Aim. Fire.
So I was afraid Karthus was gonna ulti, but I remember he ultied mid, so I'm not in danger of getting hit by his ulti right now. So yeah, that's a scenario where that Thresh is right close to me. I would have loved to have Blade of the Ruin King in order to stop him. So I actually have enough gold to just buy it outright. So I'll be honest, like the beginning of this game did not start out that well. I started out, first time I really checked to see how bad I was doing, I was 2-5. And now I just picked up 3 kills over the course of like 5 minutes. So now I'm 5-5-3. I've got the most farm in the game, beating out their whatever 80 carry. Thresh is not really an 80 carry by 70. So I'm pretty. I've actually caught up pretty hard. And so what I'm gonna do now is shove this first of all. But I'd like to also put pressure in lanes because I know that I'm beefy and I know I've got the Blade of the Ruin King to save me if I fall into trouble. So I'm gonna head up there.
Wanna shoot something.
Now I'm just gonna go, okay, good, this way. And hopefully they wait for us. Okay. Let's not go that way. And so I don't want to be on this side, even though this would be cool, I could kind of cut them off. I don't want to be on that side of the engagement because of the threat, holy shit, because of the threat that I have. If I get caught by something, then I will be absolutely screwed because I'm extremely weak. Thank you.
Rampage. An ally has been slain.
Wanna see the
Unstoppable.
fireworks?
Alright, so that worked out really well. I might have been able to catch Pantheon anyway. My heal did come up, so I would have had speed boost. But Blitz actually helped me out and screwed himself in Pantheon by pulling me in. So that was a bad move by him. They thought they could burst me in time, but they did not have the ability to. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I managed to catch up. So yeah, I didn't actually use my active there. I was going to use it on Pantheon, but I was too slow. But you saw how well I was able to do damage in that scenario. That was not worth it. So what happened was he killed me because, I don't know, this guy didn't do anything, or very little. I should have played further back. I wanted to rocket jump onto him, but I should have pulled back after that so that I wasn't in his defile his AoE. Because I got shut down for a ton of gold, so he got a ton of gold back. I didn't lose any. You don't lose gold for dying in League of Legends, but it does, you know, help out the opponent even more. 500 gold more than it should have because I died there. So I've got Blade of the Rune King. I still think it's pretty early. I'm going to look at their itemization to see if I should go Last Whisper as my third item, or if I can get away with going something else. I see a Chain Vest. I don't see armor on oh, he just bought a Chain Vest, so maybe Last Whisper is a good idea. I don't see any on Karthus, which is to be expected. Nothing on Blitzcrank. Nothing on Thresh. So 2 people are building armor. However, those are the 2 guys that are going to be jumping me. So even though there's 3 people that aren't building armor, I still want to build Last Whisper because inevitably it's not going to be those squishy targets that I'm going to be fighting. It's going to be those Lee Sins and Pantheons that are jumping my face and trying to get up all in my grill. And so I want to build that Last Whisper now. So they got turrets, so I'm just going to take bottom. Hopefully these guys don't get caught, they're fine. So I'm just going to farm bottom. But I was originally going to go mid. So I want to build Last Whisper so that I can actually, you know, do more than just tickle them. And even though I've got Blade of the Rune King doing % health damage, it does like 4%, 5% actually. Wow. So even though it does % health damage, I still want more armor penetration to get through a lot of that, so that my Bloodthirster actually hits for decent damage. So we're actually finally up ahead in kills. So transitioning from an AD carry kind of mindset, or like how to play Tristana, to more of a how to play the game in general. Now that the turrets are down, we want to try and... Oops, I missed the bush there. Looks like they might want to fight. I'm just gonna take these for now. Wait for my cooldowns to be up before I do this, and Thresh can also hook me, so I don't want to do that. Real? Alright. Well, I've got Blade of the Rune King and a Bloodthirster, so I've got a ton of lifesteal now. I need a... I need the edge. Wow. Okay. He's gonna pass his ult too. Wow. I don't do enough damage. Oh my god, Shen. Oh my god, Shen. He'll have his taunt up. He should get... Oh my god, Shen. Oh my god, Lee. Kicking him away. He's gonna hit the Q though. Unless he dodges it with it. Nope. Alright. So a lot of stuff just happened there. Where do I begin with that? So I guess, okay, so let's start from the end and work backwards. So Shen missed his taunt. Well, yeah, Shen should have known that Lee Sin's Q was going to be up, which allows him to hit, if he hits his Q, he can hit Q again to teleport to the guy. But I think the Q itself, no, the teleport is what he needed to actually finish him off. This guy's going to be so for that reason, I do this. Bye-bye. I don't want to do that. I just want to push. So yeah, he should have tried to dodge the Q. He didn't do any effort to do that. And then he missed his taunt. So he could have killed Blitzcrank sooner and maybe gotten the ability to run away and been able to escape. But he didn't even have that option because he missed he missed his taunt. And then he got juked in the Fog of War by both Blitz and Thresh. He could have killed Thresh a lot sooner. He did get the taunt off on Thresh the first time, so I should have paid my attention to myself and just gotten back, because range is the thing that could have saved me there. It's what saved me against Karthus. If you saw, I kited back. I used my flash when he flashed so that I wasn't getting hit by his Defile, because his Defile does a ton of damage at this point. He's got the Death Cap, he's got the Seraph's Embrace and the Abyssal Scepter. It's a ton of damage. And so I used my positioning to get back and avoid getting AoE'd by Karthus, but I didn't do the same thing for Thresh. I should have respected his auto attack, respected the fact that he's an AD carry too, and he's got, you know, decent damage. And if I got back, I probably would have survived there. I would have had rocket jump, so I would have been able to definitely get back and not die to the rest of the team that killed the Lee Sin and the Karthus, no, not the Karthus, the Pantheon that were closing in on our Shen. So my game plan right now is to just shove, because I see the one bottom, I see the two bottom, I see they might actually get into a team fight, so I should probably be there. I do have like a third of the kills, so I should be around. I was just gonna push and exert pressure somewhere else because I see that that these guys are occupied, but because of how much commitment is being made right here, I need to divert my attention here. Get away from me. Oh my god, fucking Karthus was on me. I'm stupid. So I ran right through Karthus' Defile. I should have gotten back, waited for him to die, especially because he was channeling ulti. I also didn't heal, so I made a lot of mistakes there after getting the kill on Karthus. The ulti to get him away from me was good, but the play after that was bad. So yeah, Nami brings up a good point, is to build something some survivability. I was going to go Infinity Edge next to just increase my damage, but I realize now, thanks for Nami for reminding me, that I'm actually far enough ahead now that I can afford to build a survivability item right now.
Want to see the fireworks?
Yeah. So I realized that I can afford to spend, you know, 2,800 gold, 2,750 on a Veil right now, and I'll still be able to kill things because of, you know, how far ahead I am right now. I'm level 17, only at Karthus is level 17, and, you know, I've got 12 kills, so I'm pretty farmed and fed, but they've obviously got people on their team that are the same. Oh boy, oh boy. Haha! If you didn't see that, I canceled Blitzcrank's pull with my busted shot.
I want to shoot something.
Wasn't really that spectacular. I should have been caught out of position like that. I should have known that Thresh was baiting in the first place, but I managed to pull something good out of it because I sure as hell would have gotten hooked. And so he wants to jump on me, so I'm going to move back, especially because it's a 3 versus 4. Even though we see Lee Sin bottom. Who died or who's not here? Our Karthus disconnected, that's what happened. So we're going to be fighting 4 versus 5 no matter what. Unless we can group and get a 4 versus 4 battle while somebody's split pushing somewhere else. Hey, Karthus is back. So I need to wait for the engage. The thing I look out for in team fights is I make a mental note, like what are the crowd controls that I have to watch out for. So Karthus is just a priority of mine for the entire fight. I have to watch out his positioning, make sure that he's not getting AoE on me. But then I also have to think about what are the key crowd controls that are being burned. And so I'm just looking at my health and I see that I'm fine, so we're just gonna do this. So what are the key abilities that get burned in a fight if I see them being used on somebody else?
Has been destroyed.
We can trade inhibitors here. We need somebody to go back, that one person. Or nobody. Or nobody. So what are the crowd controls that will screw me over if they're still available? And that's Pantheon's Jump. That's kind of Blitzcrank and Thresh. You know, their pulls can obviously put me out of position and really screw me. But it's more so the knockup from Blitzcrank. That's actually the most crucial thing for me to avoid getting hit by. Because the knockup will just be a big, like, I fly up in the air so my character model gets bigger. It's a big target on my back saying, hey, you know, attack this Tristana. Fight. Ooh, that was dumb. Wrong person clicked the lantern there. So I want to go on this Karthus because I know he's thirsty, but my team is also Pantheon will just jump me. But yeah, I wait for Pantheon to burn his jump. I wait for Blitzcrank to get involved with somebody else, and then holy shit, and then I know I can go in without being in danger of stuff happening. Where'd that Thresh go? Oops, what the hell? Whatever, I'll just take a hit. Yeah, so, yeah, I should get bubble there. So I'm just gonna try to attack this turret. I don't want to get anything by Thresh right now.
I wanna shoot something.
So yeah, I keep getting caught up with stuff that's happening. Oh yeah, another thing I didn't mention was timing jungle buffs. That's something that happens, usually the jungle does it, but if you're in solo queue like I am, or team builder, you know, you gotta do it yourself.
Aim, fire.
I don't have enough for Infinity Edge, right? It's 3,800. No. So actually what I might even do is I might do this. When it gets hard to get even more crowd control, because they have a ton on their team. And I don't really need crit because they're not going to build it that much. So yeah, if I do that, and then I just get that
Let's
in a
get
minute,
in range.
that would probably work. So yeah, putting it down is fine.
Wanna see the fireworks?
Alright, so now that we have another moment here, let me restate what CCs I'm looking out for. That Thresh hook, any flays by Thresh, any knockups by Blitzcrank, any Pantheon jumps, and then just the positioning of Karthus in general. So I don't want to chase that. That's going to distract us and loosen. Do I want to go back? Go back. I guess I'll have to go back.
Your inhibitor.
So this is a 4 versus 5 because we know Lee Sin is gone.
Rampage.
Wanna see the fireworks?
Has been destroyed. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Alright, Alright, so yeah, my thought process there was we already lost bottom. We need to go back in order to interrupt their work on there. I can't try to fight this. I have do this.
I wanna shoot something.
Oops. Did not mean to do that.
Ready, aim, fire!
Really? That was my fault though. I auto-attacked a creep by accident. I should have attacked him. So I could have gotten that kill if I just wasn't so bad.
Wanna see the fireworks?
The enemy's inhibitor is respawning.
Aim, fire!
I should have really gone for red buff instead of these golems, but I was scared. Yep,
Let's get in
should be
range.
scared. Okay, he didn't go after me. That's weird. He burned my Banshee's Veil too. I'm just gonna go back and get Scimitar. Although I can still go for Infinity Edge right now because I have the BF sword and not the other one. I might just do that instead because I want to do damage. Okay, elixir because I'm at 6 items, and oh, holy shit, this fucking team fight happened way too early. What I'm gonna do is I need to because that shit is gonna push down the Nexus if we don't do anything about it. I actually need to kill minions because I think this is not full. Oh, it is full.
Wanna see the fireworks?
Whoa. That creep has flash.
Let's get in range.
Alright, so unfortunately Lee Sin's been keeping them in this game by taking inhibitors like he did. Otherwise, we would have a real strong chokehold on this game because of our 2 inhibitors that we have down.
Your inhibitor is respawning soon.
So let's reassess the threats here. Karthus is certainly still a threat. He probably has 6 items by the time we see him again. Thresh does a good lick of damage. He's almost full on items. And he has a ton of CS. So Thresh and Karthus are their main damage sources. That's the same as before. Pantheon has the Guardian Angel. Lee Sin has the Randuins. But as far as survivability, Pantheon's got the Hex Drinker.
Your inhibitor is
So he's got a little bit
respawning
more
soon.
survivability than Lee Sin does. Lee Sin's a little bit more of Glass Cannon minus the Randuins. So what I can actually do now is, knowing that, I can actually go for him as a target because he actually is kind of squishy. As long as he burns the Randuins before I go in, or I haven't watched him enough to know if he actually uses his actives. There are some people that forget to use their actives, and then, you know, that's the end. They never use it, so it's like, whatever. No sense in waiting for it because it's not going to come out. So we should fight on the turret. Hopefully this guy doesn't get caught. Alright, we should fight on the turret. It's just better positioning, and there's a longer amount of distance for them to run before they can get to a juke path. So if he pulls Karthus, that actually wouldn't be so bad. I wish I... Ooh! Okay. I don't know if that's just to burn the Banshee's Veil or what. Holy shit! Go Karthus, go! Go Karthus, go! Perfect. I want to go over here. Ooh, I hope it burns him. Fuck.
An ally has been slain.
Yeah. So I still have Blade of the Ruined King. I want to wait for...
Look at the pretty.
Don't attack me. I didn't even use blade. I thought I used it when before I W'd out, but apparently I just W'd out. So I didn't even see if they had Baron or not.
Let's get in range.
He probably wants to go in. Yep.
I wanna shoot something.
Oh, fuck. I tried. I knew if I stood in there though, I was gonna die too, and that would have been the end of the game. So at least I'm alive, so that the threat of me just being there prevents them from pushing so quickly, and I can wave clear really fast. Kale can too, but you know, just having me there is also very
Let's get in range.
helpful. That's a bad idea.
Ready?
Maybe we can do this.
Aim. Fire.
No. You gotta just defend. Red buff might
I
be up
wanna
again.
shoot something.
Alright, so our game plan from here has been very shaky. It's just kind of like doing whatever until we get a chance to team fight. And whoever wins like one of these team fights is going to win the game. It's eventually going to come down to that. It's just surprising that it hasn't happened yet. So I buy elixirs because there's nothing else I need to buy. So that's the only thing I can do to complete to supplement my power. But like I was saying, this game has been kind of scrappy. There hasn't been too much like emphasis on fighting at objectives or testing objectives. I think if I popped Q, I could have gotten
Wanna
that.
see the fireworks?
So it's been a kind of scrappy game. It's been much more of a. You look at the kills. I mean, it's been much more of a back and forth kind of scrap fest than it has been a strategic game. But we are at that point where people are starting to hit full item builds, and it just comes down to team fights. So regardless of how the early game, how like unstructured it was, I have to be careful here.
Let's get in
Regardless of
range.
how unstructured it was, it's really at this point in the game with how late it is, it's really no different than how it is in other games. So I want to go for this guy. I actually used blade this time. Okay. And that's good. Wow, what the hell? Let's get out of here.
Wanna see the fireworks?
Enemy killing spree.
GJ.
Ready? Aim. Fire. Let's get in range.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Shoot something.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
See, I figured I could just take it, so I took it.
Victory!
I saw my opportunity and I took it. what I have to say about that last fight. Basically, always keep track of your threats. So as soon as Lee Sin jumped on me, I was like, "Holy fuck! I need to get out of here," and ran away. Tried to kite him away. Was able to do that successfully. But see your opportunities as well. So if you're able to finish off a squishy or something, so that Karthus, I was able to jump on him, and I knew I had enough damage. He already burned Zanya's, so I was able to go in and just burst him down. Take the opportunities that you can get, but also play it, play it safe, controlled risks, or calculated risks, I should say. So you were able to see a full item build. This is just how it ended up. As you can see along the way, I was kind of contemplating doing variants of this. So this could have been a Guardian Angel. This could have been a Mercurial Scimitar. What else? Phantom Dancer could have been in here, for more attack speed, but I feel pretty comfortable with how her attack speed goes with her Q. And you kind of saw the order I built it, but in case you just kind of skip through this, to recap, it was, Boots into Vamp Scepter into Bloodthirster in this case. You can also go Blade of the Rune King first. And then going back, having 3,400 gold, bought Blade of the Rune King outright after the Bloodthirster. Berserker's Greaves, I think happened before the Blade. And then Last Whisper, Banshee's Veil, Infinity Edge. Alright, so I hope that helped. I might do another one of these, but I'll at least cut this one here so that they're in more bite-sized chunks.